Today we'll be looking at the Pythagoras Theorem from 9th grade. The Pythagoras Theorem is applicable only for a right-angled triangle, and it is used to find the longer side of the right triangle, which is called the hypotenuse. In this figure, this is the hypotenuse, this is the base, and this is the altitude or the height of the right angle triangle. An easy way to memorize this or remember this is the side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse, and the one that is below, or just on, suppose there's a table and you're keeping the triangle on a table, this is the base of the triangle. And from the right angle, the height or this part or this side is called as the altitude. The formula for Pythagoras theorem is hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. So from this, how can you find the hypotenuse alone? To find the hypotenuse is equal to root of b square plus a square. B square is the base and a is the altitude. So this is the formula for finding the hypotenuse of a right angled triangle. Now let's do this with a question. Suppose in a right angled triangle, the altitude is 3 centimeters, the base is 4 centimeters. What is the hypotenuse? So firstly, write the formula. So the formula for hypotenuse is equal to root of b square plus altitude square, base square plus altitude square. So hypotenuse is equal to, what is base square? This is the base, so 4 square, that is root of 4 square plus altitude is 3, so 3 square, which is equal to root of 16 plus 9, which is equal to 16 plus 9 is equal to 25. So hypotenuse is equal to the root of 25, which is equal to 5. Since the values of the altitude and the base is in centimeters, we write 5 centimeters as the hypotenuse. Like this, you can find altitude and the base. How do you find the altitude and the base if the hypotenuse is given? Let's do that with another question. If in a right angled triangle, the hypotenuse is 13 centimeters and the altitude is 5 centimeters, what is the base? So we know that hypotenuse is equal to root of base square plus altitude square. We need to find base, so we substitute base to this side and hypotenuse to this side. Hypotenuse is positive over here, so it will be minus or negative in the right side. That means base square is equal to hypotenuse square minus altitude square. Where do we get this equation from? Here, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. You took the base to this side and hypotenuse to this side. So it becomes hypotenuse square minus altitude square. So we don't know what base square is, so we let it be hypotenuse square. Hypotenuse is 13, that is 13 square minus altitude is 5, which is 5 square, which is equal to 169 minus 25. Now, what is the value of 169 minus 25? 144. So 144 is base square, but we need to find the base. To find base, we need to take the root of this. So base is equal to root of 144, which is equal to 12 centimeter. So remember, hypotenuse is the longest side of the right angle triangle, and the formula to find hypotenuse is hypotenuse is equal to root of b square plus altitude square, that is base square plus altitude square. This is the Pythagoras theorem, and the uses of Pythagoras theorem can be for finding the height of a ladder when it is placed along a wall, or measuring the diagonals of a rectangle, etc. And make sure that you do not forget to write the unit, because unit alone contains mark. And the last thing that you need to know from Pythagoras theorem is its statement. The statement is, in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the two sides. So hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. If you know this formula, then the statement will be easy. I hope this helped you a lot. Please like and subscribe to the channel and follow for more. Thank you.